The bucket of ice water crashed down on Maya's head. The 6-year-old girl didn't scream. She had learned not to scream. Vanessa grabbed her chin, forcing the child to look up. "Your father isn't coming home until Friday." "4 days, Maya. 4 days where it's just you and me." Water dripped from Maya's tangled hair, pooling on the marble floor. Her small voice came out broken. "Please, I'll be good." Vanessa smiled. "You'll be good. Like you were good when you touched my white couch with your dirty little hands, like you were good when you embarrassed me in front of my friends with that nappy hair." She released Maya's chin with a shove. "Get on your knees, scrub this floor until I can see my reflection. And if I hear one sound out of you, you'll sleep in the basement again." Maya dropped to her knees, her hands already reaching for the brush. But what Vanessa didn't know, what she couldn't possibly know, was that Marcus Thompson's flight had just landed 3 days early. And in exactly 43 minutes, he would walk through that front door and witness everything. Before we continue, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel and follow Maya's story until the very end. Drop a comment telling me which city you're watching from. I read every single comment, and I want to see how far Maya's story travels across the world. Now, let me take you back to where this nightmare began. Gloria Jenkins heard the water hit the floor from the kitchen. She knew that sound. She had heard it 3 times this month already. Her hands froze over the pot of soup, her heart hammering against her ribs. Not again. Dear God, not again. She moved toward the kitchen door, then stopped. What could she do? The last time she had tried to intervene, Vanessa had looked at her with those cold blue eyes and said 5 words that still haunted her. "You're replaceable, Maya isn't." The meaning was clear. If Gloria made trouble, she would be fired. And if she was fired, Maya would have no one. No one to sneak her warm milk at night. No one to braid her hair when Vanessa refused to touch it. No one to hold her when she cried for her mother. So Gloria did what she had been doing for 11 months. She gripped the counter until her knuckles turned white and she prayed. In the foyer, Maya scrubbed. Her small hands were red from the cold water, her knees aching against the hard marble. She didn't look up at her stepmother. She had learned never to look up. "Faster," Vanessa said, scrolling through her phone. "I have guests coming in 2 hours. This floor needs to shine." "Yes, ma'am." "And when my friends arrive, what do you say?" Maya's brush paused for half a second. "Hello, I'm Maya. Thank you for coming to our home. My stepmother takes very good care of me." "The whole thing. Say the whole thing." Maya swallowed. "Hello, I'm Maya. Thank you for coming to our home. My stepmother takes very good care of me. She loves me like her own daughter." "Better." Vanessa's heel clicked against the marble as she circled the child. "Now what don't you do?" "I don't speak unless spoken to. And I don't touch anything. And I don't cry." "Good girl." Vanessa crouched down, her face inches from Maya's. "Because crying little girls make people ask questions. And if people ask questions, they might take you away from your daddy forever. You don't want that, do you?" Maya shook her head quickly, her wet hair slapping against her cheeks. "No, I didn't think so." Vanessa stood smoothing her dress. "Finish the floor, then go to your room and stay there until I call you." She walked away, her heels echoing through the mansion. Maya kept scrubbing her tears, mixing with the water on the floor. In the kitchen, Gloria finally moved. She grabbed a towel and walked as calmly as she could manage into the foyer. Vanessa was already gone, her footsteps fading up the stairs. "Baby?" Gloria whispered, kneeling beside Maya. "Baby, let me see your hands." Maya kept scrubbing. "I have to finish. She said I have to finish." "Maya, stop. Look at me." The child finally looked up. Gloria's heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. This was not the face of a 6-year-old. This was the face of someone who had learned that the world was cruel and there was no escape. "Your hands are bleeding," Gloria said softly. "Come with me. Let me clean them." "But the floor." "I'll finish the floor. Come with me." In the kitchen, Gloria ran warm water over Maya's raw palms. The child didn't flinch, didn't make a sound, just stood there staring at nothing. "Maya, I need to ask you something, and I need you to tell me the truth." "Nothing." "Has she hit you? Has Mrs. Thompson ever put her hands on you?" Maya's eyes flickered, just for a moment. Then she shook her head. "Maya." "She doesn't hit me." Maya's voice was flat. "Hitting leaves marks. Marks make people ask questions." Gloria felt sick. A 6-year-old shouldn't know that. A 6-year-old shouldn't speak like a prisoner explaining the rules of her captivity. "What does she do, baby? You can tell me." Maya looked up at Gloria with those big brown eyes. Eyes that used to sparkle. Eyes that used to light up when her father walked through the door. Now they were dull, empty. "She makes me invisible," Maya whispered. "She says my skin is too dark. She says my hair is ugly. She says my mama didn't want me, and that's why God took her away. She says if I'm not good, she'll tell Daddy to send me to a school far away where bad children go, and I'll never see him again." Gloria pulled Maya into her arms, holding her tight. "That's not true. None of that is true. Your mama loved you more than anything in this world, and your daddy loves you. He just doesn't know—" "Doesn't know what?" Gloria froze. Vanessa stood in the kitchen doorway, her arms crossed, her eyes locked on Gloria like a predator watching prey. "Doesn't know what Gloria—" Gloria straightened slowly, keeping Maya behind her. "I was just cleaning her hands, Mrs. Thompson. She scraped them on the floor." "I didn't ask what you were doing. I asked what Marcus doesn't know." The kitchen went silent. The only sound was the drip of the faucet and Maya's shaky breathing. "He doesn't know how much Maya misses him," Gloria said carefully. "That's all." Vanessa smiled. It was the smile of someone who knew she had won, who knew she held all the power in this house. "Maya, go to your room." Maya looked at Gloria. "Now." The child ran. Vanessa waited until the footsteps disappeared up the stairs. Then she walked slowly toward Gloria, stopping inches away. "Let me be very clear," Vanessa said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I know you think you're protecting that child, but you're not. You're a housekeeper. You're staff. You can be replaced with a phone call." "Mrs. Thompson!" "I'm not finished." Vanessa's eyes hardened. "My husband trusts me. He loves me. And if you ever try to poison him against me, I will destroy you. I will make sure you never work in this state again. And then Maya will have no one. Is that what you want?" Gloria's hands were shaking. "No, ma'am." "Good. Now finish the floor, and keep your mouth shut." Vanessa walked out. Gloria stood alone in the kitchen, tears streaming down her face. She had failed, again. She had failed Jasmine. She had failed Maya, and there was nothing she could do, or was there? She pulled out her phone and stared at Marcus Thompson's number. Her finger hovered over the call button. Then she thought about Maya, about what Vanessa would do if she found out. Gloria put the phone away. 2 hours later, the guests arrived. 5 women from Vanessa's charity committee, all dressed in designer clothes, all carrying expensive handbags. They air-kissed Vanessa at the door and cooed over the beautiful mansion. "Where's that adorable daughter of yours?" asked Patricia, a redhead with too much Botox. "I've been dying to meet her." Vanessa's smile was perfect. "She's a little shy around strangers. Let me get her." She walked to the foot of the stairs. "Maya, honey, come say hello to Mommy's friends." The word hit Gloria like a slap. Mommy. Vanessa had never let Maya call her that, not once, but here in front of witnesses she was performing. Maya appeared at the top of the stairs. She was wearing a different dress now, a pretty yellow one that Gloria had never seen before. Her hair had been brushed and pulled back with a ribbon. She looked like a doll. She walked down the stairs slowly, her eyes fixed on the ground. "There she is." Vanessa held out her hand. "Come, sweetheart, don't be shy." Maya took her hand. Gloria watched from the kitchen doorway as Vanessa led the child to her guests. "Say hello, Maya." Maya looked up and her face transformed. A smile appeared. "Practiced?" "Perfect." "Hello, I'm Maya. Thank you for coming to our home. My stepmother takes very good care of me. She loves me like her own daughter." The women melted. "Oh, she's precious. Look at those eyes. Vanessa, you're doing such a wonderful job with her." Vanessa pulled Maya close her arm around the child's shoulders. "It hasn't been easy. She was so traumatized when I first met her. Marcus tried his best, but a child needs a mother's love. You know I've worked so hard to help her heal." Maya stood perfectly still, that smile frozen on her face. Patricia leaned down. "Do you love your new mommy, Maya?" Maya didn't hesitate. "Yes, very much." "What a sweet child," Patricia straightened. "You're so lucky to have found each other." "We are," Vanessa said, squeezing Maya's shoulder a little too tight. "We really are." Gloria turned away. She couldn't watch anymore. In the kitchen, she gripped the edge of the sink and prayed. Prayed for Marcus to come home. Prayed for someone to see through Vanessa's lies. Prayed for Maya to survive until help arrived. She didn't know that help was already on the way. 3,000 miles away, Marcus Thompson was boarding a plane. He hadn't slept in 36 hours. The image from the security camera kept playing in his mind on repeat. His daughter crying alone in the kitchen, his wife ignoring her in the living room. Something was wrong. Something was very wrong. He had tried calling Vanessa. No answer. He had tried calling Gloria. She had answered, but her voice was strange, tight, careful. "Everything is fine, Mr. Thompson." Gloria put Maya on the phone. A pause. "She's sleeping. It's 4 in the afternoon." She wasn't feeling well. Mrs. Thompson put her to bed early. Marcus had felt his blood run cold. "What's wrong with her?" "Nothing serious, just tired. Children get tired, you know." Something in Gloria's voice, something underneath the words. "Gloria, I'm going to ask you a question, and I need you to answer honestly. Is my daughter okay?" Silence. A long silence. "Mr. Thompson, I think you should come home." "I'm coming home Friday." "I think you should come home now." The line went dead. Marcus had stared at his phone for a full minute. Then he had canceled every meeting, every dinner, every obligation. He had packed his bag, called his driver, and headed straight to the airport. Now, sitting in first class as the plane took off, he pulled out his phone and opened the security app again. The cameras showed an empty house. No, wait, not empty. There was Maya, in her room, sitting on her bed, alone. She was holding something. Marcus zoomed in. A photograph. The photograph of Jasmine that usually sat on Maya's nightstand. As he watched, Maya pressed the photograph to her chest and rocked back and forth. Her mouth was moving. She was saying something. Marcus wished the cameras had audio. He wished he could hear what his daughter was saying. But somehow he knew. She was talking to her mother. She was asking her mother why she left her alone. Marcus closed his eyes and made a promise. To Maya, to Jasmine, to himself. Whatever was happening in that house, it ended tonight. Back in Greenwich, the charity ladies had finally left. Vanessa stood at the door waving goodbye, her smile never wavering. The moment the last car pulled away, her face changed. "Maya!" The child appeared at the top of the stairs. "Come here." Maya walked down slowly. She knew that tone. That tone meant she had done something wrong. Vanessa waited until Maya was standing in front of her. Then she crouched down, her face inches from the child's. "You hesitated." Maya's eyes widened. "I didn't." "When Patricia asked if you loved me, you hesitated. I saw it. Do you know what would have happened if she had seen it too?" "I'm sorry, I didn't mean..." "Questions, Maya. People would ask questions. And then what happens?" Maya's voice was barely audible. "They take me away from Daddy." "That's right. Is that what you want?" "No." "Then you need to do better." Vanessa stood. "Go to your room. No dinner tonight." "But I'm hungry." "I said no dinner." Vanessa's voice went cold. "Maybe being hungry will help you remember your lines better next time." Maya turned and walked toward the stairs. "And Maya?" She stopped. "Your father called. He's coming home Friday. 3 more days. 3 more days for you to practice being a good daughter. Because if you embarrass me in front of him, if you say one wrong word, I will make your life so miserable you'll wish you had never been born. Do you understand?" Maya nodded. "Say it." "Yes, ma'am, I understand." "Good girl. Now go." Maya ran up the stairs. In the kitchen, Gloria heard everything. Her hands were trembling so badly she could barely hold the dish she was washing. 3 more days. Marcus was coming home in 3 more days. She could do this. She could keep her mouth shut for 3 more days. Then her phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. "Landing in 2 hours. Don't tell anyone." Gloria read the message 3 times. Her heart started racing. 2 hours. She deleted the message and went back to washing dishes. Her hands were still shaking, but now it wasn't from fear. It was from hope. Upstairs, Maya sat on her bed holding her mother's photograph. Her stomach was growling, but she had learned to ignore hunger. Hunger was temporary. Vanessa's anger was worse. She traced her mother's face with her finger. "Mama," she whispered. "Mama, I'm trying to be good. I'm trying so hard, but I don't know how much longer I can do this." The photograph didn't answer. "Miss Gloria says you're watching me. Is that true? Can you see me, Mama?" Nothing. "If you can see me, can you send someone to help? Can you send Daddy home?" Silence, just silence. Maya pressed the photograph to her chest and lay down on her bed. She didn't cry. She had learned not to cry. Crying made her face puffy and Vanessa would notice, and there would be questions. So she just lay there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for sleep to take her away from this place. She didn't know that her father was already in the air, already on his way. She didn't know that everything was about to change. 2 hours later, a black SUV pulled into the Thompson driveway. The house was dark except for a light in the living room. Marcus sat in the back seat staring at his home. The home he had built for Jasmine. The home where his daughter lived. The home where something terrible was happening. "Wait here," he told the driver. "I don't know how long I'll be. He got out of the car and walked to the front door. His keys felt heavy in his hand. He could hear his own heartbeat in his ears. He opened the door. The foyer was empty. Clean. Too clean. The marble floor gleamed under the chandelier light. Then he heard it. A voice from upstairs. Vanessa's voice. "I told you to stay in your room." And then another voice, small, scared. "I just wanted some water." "Did I say you could come out? Did I?" "No, but I was thirsty." A sharp sound. Something falling. A cry. Marcus moved without thinking. He took the stairs 3 at a time, his heart pounding, his mind racing. He reached the top of the stairs, just in time to see Vanessa standing over Maya. His daughter was on the floor, a glass of water shattered beside her, her eyes wide with terror, and Vanessa's hand was raised. "Don't you dare!" Marcus's voice cut through the hallway like a blade. Vanessa spun around, her face going white. "Marcus, I thought you weren't coming until Friday." "Get away from my daughter." "Honey, you don't understand. I said get away from her." Marcus walked forward, his eyes never leaving Vanessa's face. She stepped back, 1 step, 2 steps, until her back was against the wall. "Daddy," Maya's voice was so small, so broken. Marcus looked down at his daughter. She was curled up on the floor, her arms wrapped around herself, her body trembling. There was a red mark on her cheek, a handprint. Something inside Marcus snapped. He knelt down and gathered Maya into his arms. She weighed almost nothing. When had she gotten so thin? When had she become so small? "It's okay, baby," he said, and his voice was shaking. "Daddy's here. Daddy's got you." Maya buried her face in his chest, and then for the first time in months she cried. Really cried. Deep broken sobs that seemed to come from somewhere so far inside her that Marcus wondered if she would ever stop. He held her tighter. Over Maya's head he looked at Vanessa. She was still pressed against the wall, her eyes darting between him and the stairs, calculating her escape. "Marcus, let me explain." "Don't." "She's been acting out. You don't know what it's been like." "I said don't." Marcus's voice dropped to something cold, something dangerous. "I know exactly what's been going on. I've seen the cameras." Vanessa's face went gray. "Every word, every cold shower, every meal she ate alone while you were on the phone with your friends. I saw it all. You were spying on me. I was protecting my daughter, something I should have done a long time ago." He stood lifting Maya with him. She clung to his neck, her face buried in his shoulder, her small body still shaking with sobs. "Get out of my house," Marcus said. "Marcus, please, let's talk about this. Get out of my house, now, tonight. Take whatever you can carry and leave. My lawyer will be in touch." "You can't do this. We're married. I have rights." "You have nothing." Marcus's voice was ice. "You laid hands on my child, my 6-year-old daughter. You think any court in America is going to side with you after they see what I have?" Vanessa's face contorted, the mask finally slipping. "You think you're so perfect. You think you're father of the year. You've been gone for a year, Marcus, a year. You left that child with me and never looked back. And now you want to play hero. Get out. I made you look good. I was at every event, every charity, every school function. I did everything you were too busy to do, and this is how you thank me. Get out before I call the police." Vanessa laughed, a cold, bitter sound. "The police? What are they going to do? I never hit her. Not really. A little discipline isn't a crime." Marcus shifted Maya in his arms. "Maya, baby, look at me." Maya lifted her head. Her eyes were red, her cheeks wet with tears. "Tell me the truth. Has she hurt you?" Maya's eyes flickered to Vanessa, then back to her father. "She can't hurt you anymore," Marcus said softly. "I promise. Just tell me the truth." Maya's lip trembled, and then in a voice barely louder than a breath, she started to talk. She told him about the ice water, about the basement, about the nights without dinner, about being forced to scrub floors until her hands bled, about being called ugly, worthless, a burden, about being told her mother didn't want her, about being threatened, controlled, silenced. Every word was a knife in Marcus's heart. When she finished, he looked at Vanessa. His face had changed. This was no longer the grieving widower she had manipulated. This was not the distracted businessman she had deceived. This was a father. "You have 10 minutes, he said. "Then I call the police and have you removed." Vanessa opened her mouth to argue. "Gloria!" Footsteps on the stairs. Gloria appeared. Her eyes wide, taking in the scene. "Gloria, please take Maya to her room. Stay with her. Don't let her out of your sight." Gloria nodded, reaching for Maya. The child hesitated, then reached back for her father. "Don't go, Daddy. Please don't go." Marcus kissed her forehead. "I'm not going anywhere, baby. I promise. Miss Gloria is going to take care of you for a few minutes, and then I'll come up and read you a story. Okay?" Maya nodded slowly. She let Gloria take her, but she kept looking back at her father as they walked toward her room. When they were gone, Marcus turned to Vanessa. 10 minutes, he said again. "Starting now." Vanessa's eyes narrowed. The sweet act was completely gone now. In its place was something ugly, something real. "You're making a mistake," she said. "I know things about your company, about your finances, things that could destroy you." "Try it." "I will. I'll take everything you have." Marcus smiled. It was not a kind smile. "You'll try, and you'll fail. Because I've been building companies and destroying enemies since I was 16 years old. You think you can threaten me? You're nothing. You're a parasite who preys on grieving men, and I'm going to make sure everyone knows it." He pulled out his phone. 9 minutes. Vanessa stared at him for a long moment. Then she laughed again, but this time it was hollow. "Fine, I'll go, but this isn't over, Marcus, not even close." She walked past him, bumping his shoulder deliberately. He didn't move. He just watched her go, counting the seconds until she was out of his house. 8 minutes later, she was gone. Marcus stood in the empty hallway, his hands shaking. The adrenaline was fading now, leaving behind something raw and broken. He had failed. For a year, he had failed his daughter. He had been so consumed by grief, so buried in work, that he had handed her to a monster and never looked back. Jasmine would never forgive him. He would never forgive himself. But he could fix this, starting tonight. He walked to Maya's room and knocked softly on the door. "Come in," Gloria called. Maya was in bed, her mother's photograph clutched to her chest. Gloria sat beside her, holding her hand. Both of them looked up when Marcus entered. "Is she gone?" Gloria asked. "She's gone." Gloria closed her eyes, and tears spilled down her cheeks. "Thank God, thank God." Marcus sat on the edge of Maya's bed. His daughter watched him with those big brown eyes, still uncertain, still afraid. "Daddy." "Yes, baby." "Are you going to leave again?" The question hit him like a bullet. He took Maya's small hand in his, feeling how fragile she was, how broken. "No," he said. "I'm never leaving you again. I promise on your mama's memory." Maya's lip trembled. "She said Mama didn't want me. She said that's why God took her away." Marcus felt his heart crack open. He pulled Maya into his arms, holding her as tightly as he dared. "That's a lie," he said, and his voice was thick with tears. "Your mama wanted you more than anything in this world. She used to talk to you when you were still in her belly. She used to sing to you. She used to tell you that you were going to change the world." He pulled back to look Maya in the eyes. And she was right. "You are going to change the world, Maya Thompson. You are the best thing that ever happened to me and your mama, and I am so sorry that I wasn't here to protect you." Maya stared at him, and then slowly the ice around her heart began to thaw. "Can you stay with me tonight, Daddy, until I fall asleep?" "I'll stay all night," Marcus said. "I'll stay as long as you need me." He climbed onto the bed beside her, and Maya curled into his side, her head resting on his chest. Gloria quietly excused herself, wiping her eyes. In the darkness, Maya whispered, "Daddy." "Yes, baby." "I missed you." Marcus held her tighter. "I missed you too, baby. More than you'll ever know." Within minutes, Maya was asleep. The first peaceful sleep she'd had in months. But Marcus stayed awake. He stared at the ceiling, thinking about everything that had happened. Everything he had missed. Everything he had allowed to happen. And he made another promise. This was just the beginning. Vanessa was gone, but she wasn't finished. He knew that. She would come back with lawyers, with threats, with lies. But this time, Marcus would be ready. This time, he would protect his daughter, no matter what it took. Outside the window, the first light of dawn was beginning to appear. A new day was starting, and with it, a new chapter. The morning sun had barely risen when Marcus woke to find Maya still curled against his chest. She was breathing softly, her small fingers clutching his shirt even in sleep. He didn't move. He just watched her, memorizing her face, counting the ways he had failed her. His phone buzzed on the nightstand. He reached for it carefully, trying not to wake Maya. 17 missed calls from Vanessa, 8 text messages. He didn't read them. He deleted them all. Then another message came through, this one from Mark Reynolds, his attorney and closest friend. Got your voicemail. On my way. This is bad, Marcus. Really bad. Gloria appeared in the doorway, her face drawn with exhaustion. She hadn't slept either. Mr. Thompson, she whispered, can I speak with you? Marcus gently extracted himself from Maya's grip. The child stirred but didn't wake. He pulled the blanket up to her chin and followed Gloria into the hallway. What is it? Gloria's hands were shaking. There's something you need to know, something I should have told you months ago. Tell me now. She's been planning something, Vanessa. I heard her on the phone last week talking to someone. A man. She said she had documents. Your documents. Bank statements, contracts, something about signatures. Marcus felt his blood go cold. What kind of documents? I don't know exactly, but she said she had enough to take half of everything, and she mentioned Maya. What about Maya? Gloria's voice broke. She said the child was just leverage, that once she had what she needed, Maya would be someone else's problem. Marcus's jaw tightened. Did she say anything else? She said she had a backup plan. If you ever tried to divorce her, she would make sure everyone believed Maya was disturbed. That's why she hired that therapist, the one who submitted reports to the school. What therapist? Gloria looked at him with tears in her eyes. Mrs. Thompson hired a therapist to evaluate Maya 3 months ago. I thought it was to help her, but the reports... Mr. Thompson, the reports say Maya has behavioral problems, attachment issues, aggression. Maya doesn't have aggression. She barely speaks. I know, but it's all in writing now. Official reports. I saw them on Mrs. Thompson's desk. Marcus leaned against the wall, his mind racing. Vanessa hadn't just been cruel. She had been strategic. She had built a case piece by piece to make Maya look like a problem child and herself look like a saint. And he had been too blind to see it. Where are these reports now? She keeps copies in her desk, the one in the sitting room. Show me. 5 minutes later, Marcus stood over Vanessa's desk, rifling through drawers. Gloria was right. There were files. Therapy reports with Maya's name on them. School correspondence, notes from meetings he had never been told about. And at the bottom of the drawer, a folder marked insurance. Marcus opened it. Inside were photocopies of his bank statements, his investment portfolios, his company contracts, and a document he had never seen before, a petition for emergency custody. Vanessa had already drafted papers to take Maya away from him. The petition cited his frequent absences, his emotional unavailability, and his neglect of his daughter's mental health needs. It was signed by the therapist, by 2 school administrators, by neighbors he had never met. She was going to take my daughter. Gloria nodded, tears streaming down her face. I think she was waiting for the right moment. After the divorce, maybe? When she had the money secured. Marcus stared at the document. His hands were steady, but inside something was burning. Mr. Thompson, I'm so sorry. I should have told you sooner. I was scared. She threatened to fire me, and I thought if I left, Maya would have no one. You did the right thing staying. Marcus looked at her. You protected my daughter when I couldn't. I'll never forget that. The doorbell rang. Marcus gathered the documents and walked downstairs. Mark Reynolds stood on the porch, briefcase in a hand, his face grim. Tell me everything, Mark said as he stepped inside. Marcus told him. Everything Gloria had shared. Everything he had found in the desk. Everything he had seen on the security cameras. Mark listened without interruption. When Marcus finished, he let out a long breath. This is worse than I thought. Can she do it? Can she take Maya? With these documents, she could try. The therapy reports, the school correspondence, the witness statements. She's built a narrative. Absent father, troubled child, loving stepmother doing her best. It's all lies. I know, but lies with documentation are harder to fight than truth without it. Marcus's phone buzzed again. This time it was a number he didn't recognize. He answered. Hello? Mr. Thompson? A woman's voice. Professional. Cold. This is Jennifer Walsh from the Greenwich Gazette. I'm calling for comment on a story we're running tomorrow. What story? We've received information suggesting your daughter has been suffering from severe behavioral issues and that your new wife was the primary caregiver while you were frequently absent. We've also received documents indicating you may have been aware of your daughter's struggles and chose to ignore them. Would you like to comment? Marcus's grip tightened on the phone. Who gave you this information? I'm not at liberty to say. Do you have a comment? My comment is that every word of that story is a lie, and if you print it, I will sue your paper into bankruptcy." He hung up. Mark was watching him. "Let me guess. She went to the press." "They're running something tomorrow." "Then we need to move fast." Mark opened his briefcase. "I'm going to need access to your security footage. All of it. Every camera, every recording going back as far as you have." "Done." "I'm also going to need statements. From Gloria. From anyone else who witnessed Vanessa's behavior." "There's Maya's teacher, Dr. Wallace. She called me a few weeks ago concerned about Maya's behavior at school." "Get her on the phone. Today." "And there's a neighbor, Denise Carter. She's a social worker. She saw Maya left outside in the cold." "Even better, a professional witness." Mark closed his briefcase. "Marcus, I need you to understand something. This is going to get ugly. Vanessa is going to fight. She's going to try to destroy your reputation, your business, your relationship with your daughter. She has nothing to lose. Neither do I. You have everything to lose. That little girl upstairs is everything." Marcus looked toward the stairs. "That's why I'm going to win." By noon, the house had become a war room. Mark had sat up at the dining room table, his laptop open phone pressed to his ear. Gloria was in the kitchen making coffee and sandwiches, trying to keep herself busy, and Maya was in the living room, sitting on the floor, drawing. Marcus watched her from the doorway. She had been quiet all morning, but not the terrified quiet of yesterday. This was something different, something cautious. He walked over and sat down beside her. "What are you drawing, baby?" Maya looked up. "Our house." Marcus looked at the picture. It was simple. A big house with a yellow door. 2 figures standing in front, one tall, one small. "Is that us?" Maya nodded. "You and me." "Where's Miss Gloria?" Maya picked up another crayon and added a 3rd figure to the picture. "There." Marcus smiled. It was the first real smile he'd had in days. "It's beautiful." "Daddy." "Yes, baby. Is she coming back?" The question hung in the air. Marcus put down the crayon and pulled Maya onto his lap. "No, she's never coming back." "Promise?" "I promise." Maya was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "She told me you didn't love me. She said you stayed away because you didn't want to see me, because I reminded you of Mama." Marcus felt his heart crack. "That's not true, Maya. None of that is true." "Then why were you gone so much? How do you explain grief to a 6-year-old? How do you tell your daughter that looking at her was like looking at a ghost, that every time he saw her smile, he saw Jasmine, that he had been running from pain and running away from the one person who needed him most?" "I made a mistake," Marcus said finally. "A terrible mistake. I was so sad about losing your mama that I forgot to be there for you, and I am so, so sorry." Maya looked at him with those big brown eyes. "Mama's not coming back, is she?" "No, baby, she's not." "But you're staying." Marcus held her tighter. "I'm staying, forever." The doorbell rang. Mark answered it and returned with a woman in her 50s, her natural hair pulled back, her eyes sharp with intelligence. "Mr. Thompson, this is Denise Carter, your neighbor." Denise extended her hand. "We've never formally met, but I've seen you driving past my house, and I've seen your daughter." "Please sit down." Denise sat across from Marcus, her posture straight, her expression serious. "I'll get right to it. I'm a social worker. I've been in this field for 27 years, and I know abuse when I see it." "What did you see?" 3 weeks ago, I watched Maya sit on your front steps for over 2 hours. It was 40 degrees outside. She had no coat. Inside the house, I could see your wife through the window, laughing on the phone, drinking wine. She never once checked on that child. Marcus's jaw tightened. "Why didn't you call me?" "I didn't have your number, and frankly, I wasn't sure what I was seeing. Rich families. Sometimes things aren't what they look like. I didn't want to interfere in something I didn't understand." "But now," Denise leaned forward, "now I know what I saw, and I'm willing to testify. That child was being neglected at best, abused at worst, and your wife knew exactly what she was doing." "Thank you, Mrs. Carter. That means more than you know." "Don't thank me yet. That woman is going to fight dirty. I've seen her type before. Charming in public, vicious in private. She'll try to make you look like the monster. She'll twist everything." "I have evidence. Security cameras." Denise nodded slowly. "Good. You'll need it." Mark's phone rang. He stepped away to answer, his voice low and urgent. When he came back, his face was pale. "That was my contact at the Gazette. The story runs tonight, not tomorrow. Tonight." "What does it say, Paul?" Headline is "Tech Billionaire's Daughter in Crisis Inside the Troubled Thompson Home." They're painting you as an absent father who ignored his daughter's mental health. They have quotes from that therapist. from school administrators, from someone claiming to be a family friend. Can we stop it? Not in time, but we can respond. Marcus stood up. How? You give your own interview. Tell your side. Show the footage. The footage of my daughter being abused, I'm not putting that on television. You don't have to show Maya. You show Vanessa. Her words, her actions. Let the public see who she really is. Marcus hesitated. Every instinct told him to protect Maya, to keep her out of the spotlight. But if Vanessa controlled the narrative, she could take everything. Set it up, he said, but nothing goes public until I talk to Maya. She deserves to know what's happening. That evening, Marcus sat on Maya's bed while she ate dinner from a tray. Gloria had made her favorites, mac and cheese, apple slices, warm milk with honey. Maya, I need to tell you something. Maya looked up a noodle dangling from her fork. Some people are saying things about our family, about me and you, things that aren't true. What things? They're saying I wasn't a good daddy, that I didn't take care of you, and they're saying you're sick, or that there's something wrong with you. Maya's face fell. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not sick. I know, baby, I know, but some people believe lies when they hear them enough times. So I'm going to have to tell everyone the truth about what happened, about how Vanessa treated you. Maya went very still. Will people see me? No, I won't let anyone see you or talk to you. This is grown-up business, but I wanted you to know in case you heard something. I didn't want you to be scared. Maya set down her fork. Daddy. Yes. Will you tell them what she said about Mama, about how Mama didn't want me? Marcus felt his throat tighten. If you want me to, I will. I want everyone to know my Mama loved me. She did. Miss Gloria told me, and you told me, so everyone should know. Then I'll tell them, baby. I'll make sure everyone knows. Maya picked up her fork again. Okay, you can do the grown-up business. I'll be okay. Marcus kissed her forehead. You're the bravest person I know. Maya smiled, a real smile, the first one he had seen since coming home. At 8 o'clock that night, the Gazette story went live. By 8:30, it had been picked up by every major news outlet. By 9 o'clock, Marcus Thompson was trending on social media, and not in a good way. Billionaire dad ignores daughter. Inside the Thompson family nightmare. Sources say child left with abusive stepmother. Mark called at 9:15. It's worse than we thought. They're running with it. Every network. They're calling you neglectful. They're calling Maya disturbed. Vanessa must have fed them everything. Where is she now? My people tracked her to a hotel downtown. She's been making calls all night. Media attorneys, anyone who will listen. What about the school, Dr. Wallace? She's willing to talk. I scheduled a meeting for tomorrow morning. Move it to tonight. I want her statement on record before Vanessa gets to her. Doctor. Keisha Wallace arrived at the Thompson house at 10 o'clock. She was still in her work clothes, her teacher's badge hanging around her neck. Mr. Thompson, she said, shaking his hand, I came as soon as I could. Thank you for doing this. They sat in the study. Mark had a recorder ready. Gloria brought coffee. Dr. Wallace, I need to know everything you observed about Maya over the past year. Dr. Wallace took a breath. When Maya first came to my class, she was quiet but happy. She played with other children. She laughed. She was a normal, healthy little girl. And then, around 6 months ago, things changed. She became withdrawn. She stopped participating in group activities. She started having accidents, which is unusual for a child her age. She would stand by the window and watch for cars like she was waiting for someone. Did she say anything? Dr. Wallace's voice softened. She asked me once if daddies stopped loving their children. I asked her why she would think that. She said someone told her that when daddies go away, it means they don't want to come back. Marcus closed his eyes. I tried to contact you several times, Mr. Thompson. I left messages with your wife. She always said she would pass them along. I never got any messages. I suspected as much. That's why I finally called you directly. I was worried about Maya. I still am. What about the therapy reports, the ones saying Maya has behavioral problems? Dr. Wallace frowned. I saw those reports. They didn't match what I observed. The therapist described a child who was aggressive, defiant, prone to outbursts. That's not Maya. Maya is the opposite. She's withdrawn, anxious, eager to please. She apologizes for things that aren't her fault. Would you be willing to testify to that? Absolutely. That child is not disturbed. She's traumatized. There's a difference. Mark leaned forward. Doctor, Wallace, can you describe for the record what you witnessed in Maya's behavior that suggested trauma rather than innate behavioral issues? Children with behavioral disorders act out. They challenge authority. They struggle with rules. Maya is the opposite. She follows every rule perfectly, too perfectly. She's hypervigilant, always watching adults, always trying to predict what they want before they ask. That's a survival mechanism. That's what children do when they're living in an unpredictable or unsafe environment. And in your professional opinion, was Maya living in an unsafe environment? Dr. Wallace looked directly at Marcus. In my professional opinion, Maya was showing classic signs of emotional abuse. The withdrawal, the hypervigilance, the fear of making mistakes. Someone was making that child feel unsafe in her own home. The words hung in the air. Mark turned off the recorder. Thank you, Dr. Wallace. This will be invaluable. After she left, Marcus stood at the window staring out at the darkness. Marcus, Mark said. There's something else. What? Vanessa's attorney called while you were talking to Dr. Wallace. She's filing for emergency custody tomorrow morning. She's claiming Maya is in danger living with you. Marcus turned. On what grounds? She's saying you have a history of emotional instability, that you've been absent for most of Maya's life, that you fired the staff who were caring for her and isolated her from her support system. That's insane. I fired Vanessa. I kept Gloria. She's spinning it. She's good at spinning things. Marcus's hands clenched into fists. So what do? We file first. Emergency protective order. We present the evidence, the cameras, the statements, the teacher's testimony. We get in front of a judge before she does. Can we do that tonight? Mark checked his watch. I know a judge. He owes me a favor. Let me make some calls. At midnight, Mark was still on the phone. Gloria had finally gone to bed, but she had refused to leave the house. She was sleeping in the guest room close to Maya. Marcus sat alone in the living room watching the security footage on his laptop. Hour after hour of recordings. Maya eating alone, Maya scrubbing floors, Maya being ignored, belittled, broken. And then he found something new. A recording from 2 weeks ago. Maya's bedroom. Vanessa was standing over Maya's bed. It was late at night. Maya was supposed to be sleeping. Wake up! Maya's eyes opened slowly. What? What's wrong? I asked you a question at dinner, about your homework. You hesitated before you answered. I was trying to remember. You made me look stupid in front of the cleaning lady. You made me look like I don't know what's going on in this house. I'm sorry, I didn't mean... Get up. Maya climbed out of bed, her small body trembling. Stand there. Don't move until I tell you. But I'm tired. Did I ask if you were tired? Maya went silent. She stood in the middle of her room in her pajamas while Vanessa sat on the bed scrolling through her phone. For 2 hours, Marcus watched as his daughter stood perfectly still, her eyes growing heavy, her body swaying with exhaustion. She never complained, never moved, never asked for mercy. At 2 a.m, Vanessa finally looked up. Fine, go to bed. Maya collapsed onto the mattress like her strings had been cut. Vanessa walked out without another word. Marcus closed the laptop. His hands were shaking so badly he could barely breathe. He had let this happen, for months, in his own house, to his own child. Mark appeared in the doorway. I got the judge. He'll see us at 7 tomorrow morning. If we present the evidence, we can get a temporary protective order by noon. It's not enough. What do you mean? Marcus looked at him with eyes that had gone cold. I don't want a protective order. I want her destroyed. I want her to lose everything. Her reputation, her money, her freedom. I want her to feel exactly what Maya felt. Marcus? She tortured my daughter Mark for months. She stood there and watched her suffer and laughed about it on the phone with her friends, and she was going to take her away from me. I understand. But we have to do this the right way. If you go after her emotionally, she'll use it against you. She'll say you're unstable, dangerous. Marcus took a deep breath, then another. He forced his hands to unclench. Fine, we do it the right way, but when this is over, I want her to have nothing. Do you understand me? Nothing. Understood. At 7 the next morning, Marcus and Mark sat in Judge Harrison's chambers. The judge was a heavy-set man with gray hair and tired eyes. He had seen 1,000 custody cases, but even he looked disturbed as he reviewed the evidence. This footage, he said slowly, this is from cameras inside your home. Yes, Your Honor, security cameras. My wife didn't know they recorded audio. And this child, this is your daughter. Yes, Your Honor, Maya Thompson. She's 6 years old. The judge watched the footage of Maya standing in her room for 2 hours. His jaw tightened. Mr. Thompson, I've been doing this job for 30 years. I don't shock easily, but this? He shook his head. This is systematic abuse. Calculated. Deliberate. I know, Your Honor. Where is your wife now? She left the house 2 nights ago. She's staying at a hotel. She's been doing media interviews trying to control the narrative. I've seen the news coverage. The judge's voice was dry. Interesting how different it looks from her perspective. She's lying. Your Honor, she's been lying from the beginning. The judge looked at the stack of documents in front of him. Dr. Wallace's statement, Denise Carter's statement, Gloria's statement, the security footage, the fake therapy reports. I'm granting a temporary protective order, he said finally. Your wife is prohibited from coming within 500 feet of Maya or your home. She is prohibited from contacting Maya directly or through third parties. She is prohibited from making any public statements about Maya's mental health or well-being. Thank you, Your Honor. Don't thank me yet, Mr. Thompson. This is temporary. You'll have a full hearing in 30 days. I suggest you use that time wisely. I will. One more thing. The judge leaned forward. That little girl has been through hell. Get her real help, not some therapist hired to write damaging reports. Real help. She's going to need it. I understand. They left the courthouse at 9 o'clock. By 9:30, the protective order had been filed. By 10 o'clock, Mark had sent a copy to Vanessa's attorney. At 10:15, Marcus's phone rang. It was a number he recognized. Vanessa. He answered. You shouldn't be calling me. There's a protective order. Congratulations, Marcus. You won a battle. Her voice was ice. But the war is just beginning. Is that a threat? It's a promise. You think you can destroy me? You think you can take everything I worked for? I have friends, Marcus. Powerful friends. And by the time I'm done, everyone will know exactly what kind of father you really are. Everyone already knows. I showed them the footage. A pause. What footage? The security cameras, Vanessa. Every room, every conversation, every time you made my daughter stand in the dark until she couldn't stand anymore. Silence on the other end. You're lying. Check the news. I released the footage this morning. Another pause. Longer this time. You'll regret this. Her voice had changed. Shaky now. Desperate. I'll take everything. Your company, your reputation, your daughter. Everything. Try it. And see what happens. He hung up. Mark was watching him. Was that smart provoking her? Probably not, but it felt good. Marcus looked out the window of the car at the city passing by. Somewhere out there, Vanessa was planning her next move. Somewhere out there, lawyers and publicists and reporters were choosing sides. But none of that mattered right now. What mattered was getting home to his daughter. What mattered was keeping his promise. When he walked through the front door, Maya was waiting for him. She ran across the foyer and threw herself into his arms. Daddy, you came back. He held her tight, breathing in the smell of her hair, feeling her small heart beating against his chest. I told you, baby, I'm not going anywhere. Miss Gloria made pancakes, with chocolate chips. Do you want some? Marcus smiled. I would love some. He let Maya pull him toward the kitchen, her small hand warm in his. Behind them, his phone buzzed with messages. Reporters, lawyers, business partners, all wanting his attention. He ignored them all. Right now, there was only one person who mattered, and she was holding his hand. 3 days had passed since the protective order, 3 days of relative peace. But Marcus knew better than to believe it would last. Tuesday morning, 7:15 a.m. Maya sat at the kitchen table eating her pancakes slowly. She had started talking more, laughing more. The shadows under her eyes were beginning to fade, but every time the doorbell rang, she flinched. Every time a car pulled into the driveway, she went still. The scars weren't visible, but they were there. Gloria set a cup of coffee in front of Marcus. She slept through the night again. That's 3 nights in a row. Good. That's good. The new therapist is coming at 10. Dr. Robinson. She specializes in childhood trauma. Marcus nodded. I'll be here. His phone buzzed. Mark's name flashed on the screen. I have to take this. He stepped into the hallway, lowering his voice. What is it? We have a problem. Mark's voice was tight. Vanessa did an interview. It's airing in 20 minutes on Good Morning America. She can't do that. The protective order prevents her from talking about Maya's mental health. It doesn't prevent her from talking about you. Marcus felt his stomach drop. What is she saying? I don't know yet, but my source at the network says it's bad, really bad. I'm turning it on now. Marcus walked into the living room and grabbed the remote. Gloria appeared in the doorway, Maya behind her. Take Maya upstairs, Marcus said. Now. Gloria didn't ask questions. She took Maya's hand and led her toward the stairs. But Maya looked back, her eyes wide with fear. Daddy, what's wrong? Nothing, baby. Go with Miss Gloria. I'll come up soon. The television flickered on. A commercial was playing. Marcus stood frozen, waiting. Then the logo appeared. Good Morning America. And there was Vanessa sitting across from the host, her hair perfect, her makeup flawless, tears glistening in her eye. Thank you for having me, Vanessa said, her voice trembling. I know this is difficult, but I felt I had to speak out, for Maya's sake. The host leaned forward, her face full of sympathy. Vanessa, you've been through so much. Can you tell us what really happened in that house? Vanessa dabbed at her eyes with a tissue. I tried so hard to be a good mother to Maya. I really did. But Marcus, he was never there. He was always working, always traveling, and when he was home, he was distant, cold. There have been reports of abuse, video footage showing you mistreating Maya. Vanessa shook her head slowly. Those videos are edited, taken out of context. Marcus has access to top-tier video editors. He can make anything look like anything. But the footage appears to show you pouring water on the child, forcing her to stand for hours. Discipline. Vanessa's voice hardened, then softened again. I was trying to teach her boundaries. Maya has serious behavioral issues. Her own therapist documented them. But Marcus refused to accept it. He was in denial about his daughter's condition. Marcus's hands were shaking. He wanted to throw the remote through the screen. What about the protective order? A judge saw this evidence and ruled in your husband's favor. Vanessa smiled sadly. Marcus Thompson is worth $400 million. He has lawyers' connections power. I'm just a woman trying to protect a child I love. Do you really think the system treats us equally? The host nodded sympathetically. What do you want people to know, Vanessa? I want them to know the truth. I love Maya. I would never hurt her, and I'm terrified for her safety right now, alone in that house with a man who is more interested in his business than his own daughter. The interview cut to commercial. Marcus turned off the television. His phone was already ringing. Mark, I saw it, Marcus said before Mark could speak. She's good. I'll give her that. She's very good. She just called me an abuser on national television. And she did it without technically violating the protective order. She never mentioned Maya's mental health specifically. She talked about discipline and behavioral issues in general terms. Can we sue? For what? She didn't name Maya directly. She was careful. Whoever is advising her knows exactly where the legal lines are. Marcus paced the room, his mind racing. What do? We respond. But carefully, we don't attack her directly. We present the facts, the unedited footage, the statements from witnesses. We let the truth speak for itself. The truth isn't as interesting as her lies. Then we make it interesting. I'm setting up interviews for this afternoon, CNN, NBC, Fox. We blanket the airwaves. By tonight, everyone will have seen both sides. Fine, set it up. Marcus hung up and stood alone in the silent room. Through the ceiling, he could hear footsteps. Gloria and Maya moving around upstairs. His daughter, who had no idea that her life was being dissected on national television. He had to protect her, whatever it took. Tuesday, 10:00 a.m. Dr. Angela Robinson arrived exactly on time. She was a black woman in her 50s with warm eyes and a calm presence. She had worked with traumatized children for over 20 years. Mr. Thompson, she said, shaking his hand, thank you for trusting me with Maya. She needs help, real help. Not like the last therapist. Dr. Robinson nodded. I reviewed those reports. They're deeply troubling, not because of what they say about Maya, but because of what they reveal about the person who wrote them. Those reports were designed to harm, not heal. Can you undo the damage? I can try, but it will take time. Maya has learned to survive by being invisible, by suppressing her needs, her feelings, her voice, teaching her that it's safe to be seen again. That's not a quick fix. How long? Months, maybe longer. But children are resilient, Mr. Thompson. More resilient than we give them credit for. Marcus led her upstairs to Maya's room. Gloria was sitting on the bed reading a picture book. Maya was curled up beside her, her eyes following the illustrations. Maya, Marcus said softly, this is Dr. Robinson. She's here to talk to you. Maya looked up. Her eyes went to the doctor, then to her father, then back to the doctor. Is she going to write things about me? The question was so matter-of-fact, so resigned, that Marcus felt his heart break all over again. Dr. Robinson crouched down so she was eye level with Maya. "I'm not here to write things about you, Maya. I'm here to listen. That's all. Just listen." The other doctor wrote things. She wrote that I was bad. "You're not bad, Maya. You never were." Maya studied her face for a long moment. Then she asked, "Do you know how to braid hair?" Dr. Robinson smiled. "I do. My grandmother taught me when I was about your age." "Miss Gloria braids my hair, but she says her fingers get tired sometimes." "Well, maybe I can help with that. Would you like me to braid your hair while we talk?" Maya considered this. Then she nodded slowly. "Okay, but only if you do it like Miss Gloria, with the parts straight." "I'll do my best." Gloria excused herself, giving Marcus a meaningful look as she passed. He followed her into the hallway. "She's testing her," Gloria whispered. "She wants to see if this one is real." "Is that good?" "It's very good. It means she hasn't given up. She's still fighting." Marcus looked back into the room. Dr. Robinson had settled onto the bed, a comb in her hand, Maya sitting between her knees. They were talking softly, their voices too low to hear. For the first time in days, Marcus felt something that might have been hope. Tuesday, 6:00 p.m., the interviews were a blur. CNN at noon, NBC at 1, Fox at 2. Each time Marcus told the same story, showed the same footage, answered the same questions. "Why did you stay away so long?" "I was grieving, I made mistakes, but I'm here now." "Do you believe your wife is capable of abuse?" "I don't believe it. I know it. I have it on video." "What do you say to people who think you're just trying to win a custody battle?" "I say watch the footage, listen to the witnesses, then decide for yourself." By 3 o'clock, the tide was beginning to turn. Social media was flooded with clips from both interviews. Vanessa's tearful performance versus Marcus's raw, unedited evidence. The comments were brutal. "She's obviously lying. Look at her fake tears." "That poor little girl. How could anyone treat a child like that?" Marcus Thompson for Father of the Year. But there were others too. "Rich man pays for good PR. Classic." Of course, the black man gets vilified while the white woman cries. "This is a custody battle. We don't know the real truth." Mark called at 3:30. "The needle is moving. Our internal polls show 60% believe you over Vanessa. What about the other 40%? Some are undecided. Some think you're both terrible. And some?" Mark paused. "Some are buying her narrative. The absent father, the overwhelmed stepmother. It plays into certain stereotypes." "What stereotypes?" "Come on, Marcus. You know what I'm talking about. Successful black man abandons his family for his career. It's a story people have heard before. Some people want to believe it." Marcus was silent for a moment. "So what do we do?" "We keep fighting. The court date is in 27 days. We just need to hold the line until then." "And Vanessa?" "She's doubling down. My sources say she's planning something big. I don't know what yet." "Find out." "I'm working on it." Marcus hung up and walked to the window. Outside, news vans were parked along the street. Reporters with cameras waiting for a glimpse of the family everyone was talking about. He pulled the curtains closed. Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Maya woke up screaming. Marcus was in her room in seconds, pulling her into his arms as she thrashed and cried. "No, no, please. I'll be good. I'll be good. Maya, baby, wake up. It's Daddy. You're safe. You're safe." Her eyes flew open, wild with terror. For a moment, she didn't seem to recognize him. Then she collapsed against his chest, sobbing. "She was here, Daddy. She was in my room. She said she was going to take me away." "It was a dream, baby. Just a dream. She can't get to you." "But she said she always finds a way. She said no one can stop her." Marcus held her tighter, stroking her hair. "She's wrong. I stopped her. And I'm going to keep you safe. I promise." Gloria appeared in the doorway, her face creased with worry. "Is she okay?" "Nightmare? Can you stay with her while I make some calls?" Gloria took his place on the bed, gathering Maya into her arms. "Come here, baby girl. Miss Gloria's got you. Let's sing that song your mama used to sing. You remember it?" Maya's sobs began to quiet. "The Sunshine Song." "That's the one. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." Marcus listened from the hallway, his heart aching. Jasmine used to sing that song every night before bed. He had forgotten. How much else had he forgotten? He went downstairs and called Dr. Robinson. She had a nightmare, a bad one. She thought Vanessa was in her room. That's not uncommon. The trauma is still fresh. Her subconscious is processing what happened. "Is there anything I can do?" "Be present. Be consistent. Let her know that her feelings are valid. and don't be afraid to talk about what happened. Sometimes children need to verbalize their fears before they can let them go. Thank you, doctor. Mr. Thompson, one more thing. Yes. Maya mentioned something during our session yesterday, something I think you should know. Marcus gripped the phone tighter. What? She said her stepmother used to tell her that if she was very, very good, her real mother might come back, and if she was bad, her real mother's ghost would be angry with her. Marcus closed his eyes. She said that to a 6-year-old. I'm afraid so. Maya has been carrying tremendous guilt. She believes on some level that her mother's death was her fault, that if she had been better, her mother would still be alive. The words hit Marcus like a physical blow. That's insane. Maya was 3 when Jasmine died. She didn't do anything. Of course not, but Vanessa planted that seed, and it took root. It's going to take time to undo that damage. How much time? As much as Maya needs. Marcus hung up the phone and stood in the silent kitchen, his hands braced against the counter. Rage surged through him, so intense he could barely breathe. Vanessa hadn't just abused his daughter, she had poisoned her mind, made her believe she was responsible for her mother's death. That wasn't discipline, that wasn't neglect, that was psychological torture, and Vanessa was going to pay for every single moment of it. Wednesday, 3:00 p.m. Mark arrived with news. His face was grim. We found something. You're not going to like it. They sat in the study, the door closed, voices low. My investigator tracked down Vanessa's ex, the businessman from Hartford she dated before you. And she did the same thing to him, almost exactly the same thing. He had a son from a previous marriage, 8 years old. Vanessa moved in, charmed everybody, then started systematically isolating the kid from his father. What happened? The father caught on faster than you did. Kicked her out after 4 months, but here's the thing, she tried to take the kid, filed for emergency custody claiming the father was abusive. Did it work? No, the father had money, good lawyers. He fought back and won. But the kid was traumatized. The family moved to California to get away from her. Marcus leaned back in his chair. So this is a pattern. It's worse than a pattern. My investigator found 2 other cases. Different cities, different men, same playbook. She targets wealthy single fathers with young children. She marries them or moves in with them, isolates the children, and then tries to leverage the kids for money in the divorce. How did I not know this? Because she's good at hiding it. She uses different names, moves around. The men she targets are usually too embarrassed to talk about it afterward. So what do we do with this information? Mark pulled a folder from his briefcase. We use it. These men are willing to testify, all of them. They want to stop her from doing this to anyone else. Marcus looked at the folder. Inside were photographs, documents, statements, a history of manipulation and abuse stretching back over a decade. She's not going to just give up, Marcus said. When she finds out we have this, she's going to panic, and panicked people make mistakes. Marcus nodded slowly. Set up a meeting with the other victims. I want to talk to them myself. Already done. Thursday afternoon, 3:00. Good. Mark stood to leave, then paused. Marcus, there's one more thing. What? One of the men. His son didn't recover, not fully. The psychological damage was too severe. The kid's been in and out of treatment facilities for years. Marcus felt his blood go cold. How old is he now? 16, but mentally, emotionally, he's still stuck at 8. That's when the trauma happened. That's where he stopped. Marcus thought about Maya upstairs, about her nightmares, about the guilt she carried, about the seed that Vanessa had planted in her mind. That's not going to happen to my daughter. No, Mark agreed. It's not. Thursday, 10:00 a.m. The meeting was held at a private office downtown. Marcus arrived early, his stomach tight with anticipation. 3 men were waiting for him. David Chen, the businessman from Hartford, Michael Torres from Chicago, Robert Blackwell from Atlanta, different ages, different backgrounds, different cities, but they all had the same look in their eyes, the look of men who had been deceived. David spoke first. Mr. Thompson, thank you for reaching out. When your attorney contacted me, I wasn't sure I wanted to get involved. I've spent years trying to forget what that woman did to my family. I understand, and I appreciate you being here. Michael leaned forward. My son was 7 when Vanessa came into our lives. She was so kind at first, so loving. I thought he finally had the mother figure he needed. What happened? It started small. She would criticize him for little things, his table manners, his grades, the way he talked. Then she started isolating him, telling him I didn't really love him, telling him I wished he had never been born. Marcus's jaw tightened. She said the same things to Maya. Robert nodded. It's her playbook. She finds the wound and she presses on it, over and over, until the child doesn't know which way is up. How did you get out? I came home early one day, found her screaming at my son, calling him worthless, telling him his real mother abandoned him because he was too much trouble. Robert's voice cracked. He was 7 years old. He believed every word. The room was silent for a moment. David spoke again. The worst part isn't what she does. It's how she makes you feel afterward, like you should have known, like you were complicit. You weren't complicit, Marcus said. She's a predator. She's studied this. She knows exactly how to manipulate people. Maybe, but that doesn't make the guilt go away. Marcus looked at each of them. 3 fathers, 3 children, years of damage. I'm going to stop her, he said. I don't just want to win my custody case. I want to make sure she never does this to another child again. How? I want to go public, all of us, together. I want to show the world exactly who Vanessa Cole really is. The men exchanged glances. That's a big ask, Michael said. Going public means reliving everything. The shame, the embarrassment. My wife doesn't even know the full story. I know it's a lot, but think about the next child, the next family. If we stay silent, she'll do this again, and again, until someone stops her. Silence stretched across the room. Then Robert spoke. My son is 16 now. He's been in therapy for 8 years. He still has nightmares. He still flinches when women raise their voices. He paused. I'll do it. If it means protecting even one child from going through what my son went through, I'll do it. David nodded slowly. I'm in. Michael took a deep breath. My wife is going to kill me, but okay, I'm in too. Marcus felt something shift in the room. They weren't just victims anymore. They were a force. Thank you, he said. All of you. This is going to be hard, but we're going to do it together. Thursday, 6th Hazarupim. Marcus came home to find Maya in the living room drawing at the coffee table. She looked up when he entered, and for the first time in days, she smiled without hesitation. Daddy, look what I made. She held up a picture. 3 figures standing in front of a house. 1 tall, 1 medium, 1 small. That's you, Maya said, pointing to the tall figure. And that's Miss Gloria. And that's me. It's beautiful, baby. I'm going to make another one, with Mama in it. Dr. Robinson said I could draw Mama whenever I want. She said Mama is always with me, even if I can't see her. Marcus's throat tightened. Dr. Robinson is right. Can I put this one on the refrigerator? You can put it anywhere you want. Maya jumped up and ran to the kitchen. Marcus watched her go, marveling at her resilience. 3 days ago, she had been a ghost, a shell. Now she was starting to come back to life. Gloria appeared beside him. She's doing better. I know, I can see it. Dr. Robinson is good for her. They talked for almost 2 hours today. Maya even laughed at one point. She laughed, a real laugh, not the fake one she used to do when Vanessa had guests over, a real one. Marcus felt tears prick his eyes. He blinked them back. I need to make some calls. Can you stay with her? Always. In his study, Marcus dialed Mark's number. The meeting went well. All 3 are willing to go public. That's incredible. When do you want to do it? As soon as possible. Before Vanessa can spin another narrative. I can have everything ready by Saturday. A joint press conference, all 4 of you telling your stories. Do it. Marcus, one thing. Vanessa is going to retaliate. Hard. When she sees this, she's going to throw everything she has at you. Let her. I'm ready. Are you? Because this isn't just about custody anymore. This is war. Marcus looked at the photograph on his desk. Jasmine holding Maya as a baby. Both of them smiling. Both of them happy. It's been war since the day she walked into my house. I just didn't know it until now. Friday, 8:00 a.m. The morning started like any other. Breakfast with Maya, a call with Dr. Robinson, a review of the press conference plans with Mark. Then at 9 o'clock, everything changed. Gloria came running into the study, her face white with fear. Mr. Thompson, come quick. Marcus was on his feet instantly. What is it? It's Maya. She's gone. The words didn't make sense. Gone? What do you mean gone? I went to check on her in her room. She was supposed to be getting dressed, but she's not there. She's not anywhere in the house. Marcus's blood turned to ice. Did you check everywhere? The basement, the attic. Everywhere. I've looked everywhere. She's gone. Marcus ran to Maya's room. The bed was unmade. Her pajamas were on the floor, but the window was open. The window was open. He looked outside. Below a garden. Beyond that, the fence. Beyond that, the street. Call the police, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Call them now. Mr. Thompson, what happened? Where could she? I said call them now. Gloria ran. Marcus stood at the window, his mind racing. Maya wouldn't run away. She was scared of the outside. She barely left her room without permission. Someone had taken her. His phone rang. An unknown number. He answered with shaking hands. Hello. Hello, Marcus. Vanessa's voice. Calm. Controlled. Triumphant. Where is my daughter? She's safe. For now. If you hurt her, I swear to God. Hurt her, Marcus. I love that child. I'm protecting her. From you. You're violating the protective order. You're kidnapping a child. Do you understand what that means? What I understand is that you tried to destroy me. You turned those men against me. You were going to humiliate me on national television. How do you know about that? Vanessa laughed. I have friends, Marcus. I told you that. Did you really think you could move against me without me finding out? Marcus gripped the phone so hard he thought it might shatter. Where is Maya? She's somewhere safe. Somewhere you'll never find her, unless... Unless what? Unless you give me what I want. And what do you want? $50 million, wire transfer to an offshore account, and a signed statement saying that I never abused Maya, that the videos were fabricated, that you lied to destroy my reputation. That's insane. No one will believe... I don't care what people believe. I care about my future, and my future doesn't include being known as a child abuser. Marcus closed his eyes. $50 million, a signed confession, his daughter's life in the hands of a monster. How do I know Maya is okay? You don't? You'll just have to trust me. I don't trust you. Then Maya pays the price. You have 24 hours, Marcus. 24 hours to decide what's more important, your money and your pride, or your daughter's life. The line went dead. Marcus stood in his daughter's empty room, the phone still pressed to his ear. Outside, he could hear sirens approaching. Gloria had called the police, but the police couldn't help him now. No one could help him now. Except himself. He looked at Maya's bed, at the picture she had drawn lying on the nightstand. 3 figures in front of a house. A family. His family. He picked up the picture and held it to his chest, and he made a vow. He would get his daughter back, whatever it took, whatever it cost. And when he did, Vanessa Cole would pay for everything she had done. Everything. The sirens grew louder. The police were at the door, and the clock was ticking. 24 hours. The longest 24 hours of his life had just begun. Friday, 9:47 a.m. The police filled the house within minutes. Detective James Morrison took charge, a veteran with 30 years on the force. He sat Marcus down in the living room, his voice calm but urgent. Mr. Thompson, I need you to tell me exactly what happened, from the beginning. Marcus's hands wouldn't stop shaking. My daughter is gone. My ex-wife took her. She called me. She's demanding $50 million. You're certain it was your wife? Ex-wife, and yes, I recognized her voice. She admitted it. Detective Morrison exchanged a look with his partner. Mr. Thompson, kidnapping is a federal offense. If what you're saying is true, we need to involve the FBI immediately. Then involve them. Do whatever you have to do. Just find my daughter. Gloria sat in the corner, tears streaming down her face. I should have been watching her. I should have been in the room with her. This is my fault. It's not your fault. Marcus's voice was hollow. It's mine. I should have known Vanessa would do something like this. Mark Reynolds arrived at 10 o'clock, his face ashen. He pulled Marcus aside. I just heard. What do you need? I need you to find Vanessa. She has to be somewhere. A hotel, a rental property, something. I've already got my people on it, but Marcus, if she's smart, she's using cash. Fake names. She could be anywhere. She's not that smart. She's desperate. Desperate people make mistakes. Marcus's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Tick-tock, Marcus. 23 hours left. Have you started counting yet? He showed the message to Detective Morrison. Can you trace this? We can try, but if she's using a burner phone, it'll be difficult. Then try harder. Friday, 11:15 a.m. The FBI arrived in black SUVs, agents swarming the property. Special Agent Sarah Chen took over from Detective Morrison, her demeanor professional but not unkind. Mr. Thompson kidnapping cases have a higher success rate when we act quickly. I need you to tell me everything you know about your wife, her habits, her contacts, anyone who might be helping her. Marcus thought back over the past year. The phone calls Vanessa took in private, the trips she made without explanation, the names she mentioned in passing. There was a man, he said suddenly. She was seeing someone. I heard her on the phone with him. She called him Derek. Do you have a last name? No, but he has a yacht. She mentioned going on his yacht. Agent Chen made a note. That's helpful. We'll check marina records. Anyone else? Her former driver, the one who was feeding her information. His name is Thomas Reed. He lives in Stamford. We'll bring him in for questioning. Marcus paced the room, his mind racing. Every minute that passed was a minute Maya was alone with Vanessa, scared, confused, wondering why her daddy hadn't come for her. Mr. Thompson? Agent Chen's voice cut through his thoughts. I know this is hard, but I need you to stay calm. Panicked decisions lead to bad outcomes. My daughter is 6 years old. She's been through hell already, and now she's in the hands of the woman who put her through it. I understand, and we're going to find her, but I need your help to do that. Marcus forced himself to take a breath, then another. What do you need? I need you to call Vanessa back. Keep her talking. The longer she's on the phone, the better chance we have of tracing the call. She won't fall for that. Maybe not, but we have to try. Friday, 12:30 p.m. Marcus dialed the unknown number. It rang 4 times before Vanessa answered. Calling to negotiate already, I'm impressed. I want to talk to Maya. That's not how this works, Marcus. You give me what I want, then you get what you want. How do I know she's even alive? A pause. Then in the background, a small voice. Daddy. Marcus's heart stopped. Maya. Maya, baby, are you okay? Daddy, I'm scared. I want to come home. I know, baby, I know. Daddy's going to come get you, I promise. That's enough. Vanessa's voice again sharp. You've heard her. She's alive. For now. Vanessa, please. She's just a child. Whatever problems we have, they're between us. Leave Maya out of this. Leave her out of it, Marcus. She's the only leverage I have. Without her, you would have destroyed me. You were going to parade those men on television, tell the whole world what a monster I am. You are a monster. No, I'm a survivor. I do what I have to do to get what I deserve. And what I deserve is compensation for everything you've put me through. I've put you through. You abused my daughter. I disciplined her. There's a difference, but it doesn't matter now. All that matters is the money. $50 million, Marcus, a small price to pay for your daughter's safety. Marcus looked at Agent Chen. She was signaling him to keep talking. I need more time. $50 million isn't something I can just transfer. You have 22 hours. That's plenty of time for a man with your resources. And if I can't get it together that fast, Vanessa's voice went cold, then Maya and I disappear. Forever. And you'll spend the rest of your life wondering what happened to her. The line went dead. Agent Chen lowered her headset. We got a partial trace. She's somewhere in the tri-state area. Connecticut, most likely. That's not good enough. Connecticut is huge. We're narrowing it down. Every call she makes gives us more data. Marcus slammed his fist against the wall. I can't just sit here and wait. My daughter is out there. Mr. Thompson, I know this is frustrating, but we have protocols for a reason. If you go off on your own, you could jeopardize everything. And if I do nothing, I could lose my daughter. Gloria appeared in the doorway. Mr. Thompson, there's someone here to see you. He says it's urgent. Marcus walked to the front door. Standing on the porch was a man he had never seen before. Middle-aged, balding, nervous. Mr. Thompson, my name is Derek Sullivan. I think I can help you find your daughter. Friday, 15 p.m. They sat in the study, the door closed. Agent Chen stood in the corner watching. Derek's hands were shaking. I never meant for any of this to happen. You have to believe me. Just tell me what you know. Vanessa and I, we were together for about 6 months. She told me you were abusive, that you were controlling, that she was trying to escape. And you believed her. She's very convincing. I thought I was helping her. I thought I was being a hero. Marcus fought the urge to punch him. Where is she, Derek? I don't know exactly, but I know she has a place. A cabin upstate, near Lake George. Her grandmother left it to her years ago. It's off the grid, no neighbors for miles. Agent Chen stepped forward. Can you give us the address? I don't have the exact address, but I can describe how to get there. I drove her there once. That's enough? We can work with that. Derek looked at Marcus with desperate eyes. I'm sorry, I had no idea what she was really like. When I saw the news, when I saw what she did to your daughter, I couldn't be part of it anymore. Why didn't you come forward sooner? I was scared. She threatened me. Said she would tell everyone I was involved in the kidnapping. That I would go to prison. You might still go to prison. Derek's face crumpled. I know, but I couldn't let her hurt that little girl. Not anymore. Agent Chen was already on her phone coordinating with her team. We have a location, Lake George area. I'm dispatching units now. Marcus stood up. I'm going with them. Mr. Thompson, that's not advisable. I'm going. My daughter is there. I'm not staying behind. Agent Chen studied his face for a moment. Then she nodded. Fine. But you follow our lead. No heroics? Understood? Understood. Friday, 7:45 p.m. The drive to Lake George took 90 minutes. Marcus sat in the back of an FBI SUV, his leg bouncing with nervous energy. Every mile felt like a lifetime. His phone buzzed. A text from Vanessa. I know you're coming. Don't bother. You'll never find us. He showed the message to Agent Chen. She knows. She's bluffing, trying to throw us off. Or Derek tipped her off. He's been in custody since he left your house. He hasn't made any calls. Then how does she know? Agent Chen's jaw tightened. She doesn't. She's guessing, trying to make you doubt yourself. Marcus stared out the window at the passing trees. Vanessa was smart. Smarter than he had given her credit for. But she wasn't smarter than the FBI. She couldn't be. Could she Friday force out her pun? They found the cabin at the end of a dirt road surrounded by dense forest. It looked abandoned. No cars in the driveway, no lights in the windows. Agent Chen held up her hand, signaling the team to stop. Something's wrong. What? It's too quiet. The agents approached the cabin in formation, weapons drawn. Marcus watched from behind the SUV, his heart pounding so loud he was sure everyone could hear it. The lead agent kicked in the door. Shouts, movement, then silence. Agent Chen's radio crackled. Cabin is empty. No sign of the target or the child. Marcus's knees went weak. She's not here. She was here. Recently. There's food on the table. Beds are unmade, but she's gone. Where could she have gone? Agent Chen was already moving barking orders into her radio. Check the surrounding area. She can't have gone far. Set up roadblocks on every route out of here. Marcus walked into the cabin on numb legs. The table was set for two, a small plate with cartoon characters. Maya's plate. She had been here. Maybe minutes ago, maybe hours. He picked up a piece of paper lying on the table. A drawing. 3 figures in front of a house. The same drawing Maya had made at home. She had been carrying it with her. Under the drawing, written in Vanessa's handwriting, were 2 words. Too late. Marcus crumpled the paper in his fist. His whole body was shaking now, with rage, with fear, with a desperation so intense it felt like drowning. Mr. Thompson. Agent Chen's voice was gentle. We're going to find her. This isn't over. She's playing with me. She's always one step ahead. Not for long. We know she was here. That means she's running. Running people make mistakes. Marcus looked at the empty cabin, the cold fireplace, the abandoned toys. Somewhere out there, his daughter was terrified, alone, waiting for him to save her. And he had no idea where she was. Friday, 6:30 p.m. They set up a command center at a local police station. Agents worked phones and computers tracking every lead. Marcus sat in a plastic chair staring at nothing. 15 hours left. His phone rang. The unknown number. He answered before the first ring finished. You thought you were clever. Vanessa's voice was calm, almost amused. Sending the FBI to my grandmother's cabin. Very predictable, Marcus. Where are you? Somewhere you'll never think to look. You know Maya keeps asking for you. It's almost sad. She still believes her daddy is going to save her. Let me talk to her. No, you had your chance. Now you have 14 hours and 27 minutes. The clock is ticking. Vanessa, listen to me. If you hurt Maya, there is nowhere on earth you can hide. I will find you, and I will make you pay. Threats, Marcus, how very masculine of you. But here's the thing, you're not in control anymore. I am. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner this can all be over. I'll give you the money, all of it. Just tell me where to send it. Oh, I will, when I'm ready. But first, I want you to suffer. I want you to feel what I felt when you tried to destroy my life. Your life. You're talking about your life. You tortured a 6-year-old child. I taught her discipline, something you clearly never learned. But we're wasting time. 14 hours, Marcus. Start gathering my money. The line went dead. Agent Chen was watching him. We traced the call. She's moving, heading south. South where? New York, probably. Lots of places to hide in the city. Marcus stood up so fast his chair fell backward. Then let's go to New York. We have agents there already. They're setting up surveillance on all the major transportation hubs. That's not enough. Mr. Thompson, I understand your frustration, but we're doing everything we can. Everything you can isn't good enough. The room went quiet. Everyone was staring at him. Marcus realized he was shouting. He didn't care. My daughter is out there. Every second we waste, she's getting further away. And you're telling me to be patient? Agent Chen walked up to him, her voice low. Mr. Thompson, I have children too. I know what you're feeling right now, but losing control isn't going to help Maya. It's going to hurt her. Marcus closed his eyes. He took a breath, then another. When he opened his eyes again, he was calmer, barely. What can I do? There has to be something. There is. Vanessa wants money. She's not going to disappear until she gets it. That gives us leverage. What kind of leverage? You agree to pay. You set up the transfer. But we control where and when it happens. We let her think she is winning, and when she comes to collect, we take her down. Marcus considered this. And Maya? We make sure Maya is safe before we make any moves. That's our top priority. It wasn't a perfect plan, but it was a plan, and right now that was all Marcus had. Okay, he said. Let's do it. Friday, 9:00 p.m. Marcus sat in a secure room, phone in hand, waiting for Vanessa's call. The FBI had prepared a script, a wire transfer to an offshore account, but one they could track and freeze. The phone rang. Hello, Marcus? Ready to cooperate? Yes, I have the money. A pause. Vanessa hadn't expected him to give in so easily. All 50 million? Yes. Just tell me where to send it. Not so fast. I want proof. Proof. A screenshot of your account balance, showing you have the funds available. Marcus looked at Agent Chen. She nodded. Fine. Give me a minute. He sent a doctored screenshot prepared by the FBI tech team. It showed a balance of $62 million. Vanessa was quiet for a long moment. Then she laughed. Well, you really are serious. I almost feel bad for taking your money. Where's Maya? Safe, as promised. I want to see her. Before I transfer anything, I want video proof that she's okay. That's not part of the deal. It is now. No video, no money. Another pause. Longer this time. Marcus could almost hear Vanessa calculating. Fine. I'll send you something. But Marcus, if you try anything, if I see one cop or one FBI agent, Maya pays the price. Understand? I understand. Good. Check your phone in 10 minutes. The line went dead. Marcus stared at the phone, his heart racing. 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, he would see his daughter. The longest 10 minutes of his life. Friday, 9:12 p.m. The video arrived as a text attachment. Marcus's hands were shaking so badly he almost dropped the phone. He pressed play. Maya was sitting on a bed, her knees drawn up to her chest. She was wearing the same clothes she had been wearing when she disappeared. Her eyes were red from crying. Say hello to Daddy, Vanessa's voice said from off camera. Maya looked up, her face crumpled. Daddy, please come get me. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. Tell him you're okay. Maya swallowed hard. I'm okay. She hasn't hurt me, but Daddy, I'm scared. Please. The video cut off. Marcus replayed it 3 times, studying every detail. The bed Maya was sitting on looked like a hotel bed. Generic headboard, white sheets. There was a window behind her, but the curtains were drawn. Can you get anything from this on mute? He asked Agent Chen. We're analyzing it now. The video quality is low, but we might be able to identify the hotel chain from the furniture. How long? Give us an hour. An hour. 11 hours left on Vanessa's deadline. Every minute felt like a year. Friday, 10:30 p.m. The analysis came back faster than expected. The bed frame matched a Comfort Inn pattern. There were 47 Comfort Inns in the New York metropolitan area. We can't search all of them, Agent Chen said, but we can narrow it down. She's been heading south. That eliminates the ones in Connecticut and upstate New York. How many does that leave, Amamu? 23. We're sending teams to each one. That's going to take hours. It's the best we can do. Marcus paced the room. 23 hotels. Maya was in one of them. So close and yet impossibly far. His phone buzzed. Another text from Vanessa. Stop stalling. I want the money transferred by midnight, or Maya and I disappear forever. Marcus showed the message to Agent Chen. She's getting impatient. Good. Impatient people make mistakes. Or they do something desperate. Agent Chen's face hardened. We're not going to let that happen. Friday, 11:15 p.m., 45 minutes to midnight. 12 hotels checked. No sign of Vanessa or Maya. Marcus couldn't sit still anymore. He walked outside into the cold night air. His breath fogged in front of him. Somewhere in the city, his daughter was waiting for him. Mark Reynolds appeared beside him. He had been coordinating with the legal team, preparing for every possible outcome. How are you holding up? I'm not. Marcus, we're going to find her. You have to believe that. I've believed a lot of things in my life. I believed Jasmine would live. I believed Vanessa was a good person. I believed Maya was safe in my own home. Look where believing got me. This is different. Is it every time I think I've got control of the situation, Vanessa pulls the rug out from under me? She's always one step ahead. Not always. She didn't know about the other victims. She didn't know you had security footage. She underestimated you once. She'll do it again. Marcus looked at his phone. 40 minutes. What if she doesn't? What if she really disappears with Maya? Then we keep looking, for as long as it takes. We don't give up, ever. Marcus's phone rang. Agent Chen's number. We found her. Friday, 11:32 p.m. The Comfort Inn was in Queens, a nondescript building on a busy street. FBI vehicles surrounded the block agents moving into position. Marcus sat in the command vehicle watching the monitors. Room 412, 4th floor. That's where Vanessa and Maya were hiding. We have eyes on the room, Agent Chen reported. Curtains are drawn, but we can see movement inside, at least 2 people. How do you want to play this? We go in quiet, breach the door, secure the target, extract the child. 30 seconds in and out. And if Vanessa resists, she won't have time to resist. Marcus wanted to believe her. He wanted to believe this would all be over in 30 seconds. But he had learned not to underestimate Vanessa. I want to be there. When you go in. Mr. Thompson, that's not... My daughter is in that room. She's going to be terrified. She needs to see a familiar face. Agent Chen hesitated. Then she nodded. Fine. But you stay behind the entry team. You don't move until we give the all clear. Understood. Friday, 11:45 p.m. The team moved into position. Marcus followed his heart, pounding his hands steady. In 15 minutes, this would all be over. They took the stairs to avoid the elevator noise. 4 flights. Each step felt like climbing a mountain. The 4th floor hallway was empty. Room 412 was at the end, a do not disturb sign hanging on the handle. The entry team stacked up at the door. The lead agent held up 3 fingers. 2. 1. The door exploded inward. Shouts, movement, chaos. Marcus pushed forward, ignoring the protocol, ignoring everything except the need to find his daughter. The room was small, 2 beds, a bathroom, and there in the corner, huddled against the wall, was Maya. Daddy? She ran into his arms, and he caught her, lifting her off the ground, holding her so tight he was afraid he might break her. I've got you, baby. Daddy's got you. You're safe now. You're safe. Maya was crying, her small body shaking with sobs. I knew you'd come. I knew you'd find me. I'll always find you, baby. Always. Behind them, agents were securing Vanessa. She was face down on the bed, hands cuffed behind her back. She was screaming. You can't do this. I have rights. I want my lawyer. Marcus turned to look at her. Their eyes met. Vanessa's face was twisted with rage. This isn't over, Marcus. You hear me? This isn't over. Yes, it is. His voice was calm, cold, final. It's over. He carried Maya out of the room, past the agents, past the chaos. In the hallway, Gloria was waiting. She had insisted on coming, and no one had been able to stop her. Oh, baby girl. Gloria pulled Maya into her arms, tears streaming down her face. Thank God, thank God. Miss Gloria, I missed you so much. I missed you too, sweetheart. I missed you so much. Marcus stood back, watching them. His daughter was safe. Vanessa was in custody. The nightmare was over. But as he watched Maya cling to Gloria, he knew the truth. The nightmare wasn't over. It was just changing form. The physical danger was gone, but the psychological damage remained. Maya had been through things no child should ever experience, and it would take years, maybe decades, to fully heal. But they had time now. Time that Vanessa had almost taken from them, and Marcus was going to use every second of it. Saturday after 12:15 a.m. At the police station, Vanessa was processed and booked. Kidnapping, violation of a protective order, endangering the welfare of a child. The charges were piling up. Marcus watched through the one-way glass as she sat in the interrogation room, her lawyer whispering in her ear. Even now, even in handcuffs, she looked defiant. Agent Chen appeared beside him. "We're going to need Maya to make a statement eventually, when she's ready." "Not tonight." "No, not tonight, but soon. The DA is going to want to build the strongest case possible." "What's she looking at in terms of prison time?" "Kidnapping alone carries up to 20 years. With the other charges, she could be looking at life." Life. Marcus let the word sink in. Vanessa would spend the rest of her life behind bars. She would never hurt Maya again. She would never hurt anyone again. It should have felt like victory, but all he felt was exhaustion. "Can I take my daughter home?" "Yes, we'll need to follow up, but for tonight, take her home. Let her sleep in her own bed." Marcus walked out of the police station into the cold December night. The SUV was waiting, engine running. Gloria was inside with Maya, who had fallen asleep against her shoulder. Marcus climbed into the back seat and looked at his daughter. She looked peaceful. For the first time in days, she looked at peace. He leaned over and kissed her forehead. "Let's go home," he said to the driver. As the car pulled away from the station, Marcus looked back one last time. Through the window, he could see the lights of the building where Vanessa was being held. She had taken so much from him, from Maya, from so many people, but she hadn't won. Maya was safe. Maya was coming home. And that was all that mattered. Saturday, 2:00 a.m. The house was quiet when they arrived. Gloria carried Maya upstairs while Marcus stood in the foyer, looking at the home he had almost lost. The same chandelier, the same marble floors, the same photographs on the walls. But everything felt different now. He walked to Maya's room and stood in the doorway. Gloria had tucked her in, pulled the blanket up to her chin. Maya was sleeping deeply, her face relaxed. "I'll stay with her," Gloria said. "All night. She won't wake up alone." "Thank you, Gloria. For everything." "Don't thank me. That child is my heart. I would die for her." Marcus believed her. Gloria had proven her loyalty 1,000 times over. He walked to his own bedroom and sat on the edge of the bed. He was exhausted, but he knew he wouldn't sleep. Not tonight. On the nightstand was a photograph of Jasmine. He picked it up and looked at it for a long time. "I almost failed her, he said to the photograph. "I almost lost our daughter." The photograph didn't answer, but Marcus could almost hear Jasmine's voice. "You didn't lose her. You saved her. You finally showed up when it mattered most." He set the photograph down and closed his eyes. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, court dates, testimonies, the long process of healing, but that was tomorrow. Tonight his daughter was safe in her bed. Tonight the monster was behind bars. Tonight, for the first time in what felt like forever, Marcus Thompson allowed himself to breathe. Saturday, 8:00 a.m. Maya woke up screaming. Marcus was in her room before the echo faded, pulling her into his arms as she thrashed against invisible demons. "No, don't take me, Daddy, Daddy. I'm here, baby. I'm right here. Open your eyes. Look at me." Maya's eyes flew open, wild with terror. For a moment, she didn't recognize him. Then she collapsed against his chest, her small body racked with sobs. "I thought it was a dream. I thought I was still there." "You're home, Maya. You're safe. She can't hurt you anymore." "Promise?" "I promise." Gloria appeared in the doorway, her face creased with worry. "Should I call Dr. Robinson?" "Yes, tell her it's urgent." Dr. Robinson arrived within the hour. She spent 2 hours with Maya behind closed doors while Marcus paced the hallway like a caged animal. When the door finally opened, Dr. Robinson's face was somber. "She's sleeping now. I gave her something to help her relax." "How bad is it?" "Bad. The kidnapping re-triggered all her previous trauma. She's experiencing acute stress disorder, nightmares, flashbacks, hypervigilance. It's going to get worse before it gets better." "What do I do?" "You stay. You show up. Every day. Every night. You prove to her that she can count on you. That's the only medicine that's going to work." Marcus looked at Maya's closed door. "I'm not going anywhere." "Good, because she's going to test you. She's going to push you away to see if you'll leave. Don't let her push you away." "I won't." Dr. Robinson gathered her things. "I'll be back tomorrow, and the next day, and every day after that, until she doesn't need me anymore." "Thank you, Doctor." "Don't thank me. Just be the father she needs." Saturday, 3:00 p.m. Mark Reynolds arrived with news. His face was grim. Vanessa's lawyer is pushing for bail. Marcus felt his blood pressure spike. Bail? She kidnapped a child. She's claiming it wasn't kidnapping. She's saying she had custodial rights as Maya's stepmother and was protecting her from an abusive father. That's insane. The judge already granted a protective order against her. Her lawyer is arguing the protective order was obtained under false pretenses. They're saying you manipulated the evidence. I have video footage. I have witness statements. I have 3 other victims who will testify. I know, and the DA knows, but Vanessa has money and connections. She's not going down without a fight. Marcus stood at the window, his hands clenched into fists. What's the worst-case scenario? Worst case, she gets bail, flees the country, and we never see her again. That can't happen. It won't. I've already contacted the DA. We're pushing for a no-bail hearing on Monday. Between the kidnapping charge and the flight risk, no judge in their right mind would let her walk. And if she does walk, Mark hesitated, then we have other options. What kind of options? Options I'd rather not discuss until we need them. Marcus turned to face him. Mark, if there's even a chance she could get to Maya again. She won't. I have people watching the house, private security, the best in the business. If Vanessa even thinks about coming near this place, we'll know. Marcus nodded slowly. It wasn't enough. It would never be enough, but it was something. Keep me informed. Every development, no matter how small. You have my word. Sunday, 10:00 a.m. Maya refused to leave her room. Marcus sat outside her door, his back against the wall, waiting. Gloria brought him coffee, sandwiches, anything to keep him fed. He barely touched them. Baby, can I come in? Silence. I just want to talk. You don't have to say anything. I'll do all the talking. More silence. I know you're scared. I know you've been through things no child should ever go through, and I know I wasn't there when you needed me, but I'm here now, and I'm not leaving. He heard movement on the other side of the door, a soft shuffling. Then Maya's voice barely above a whisper. She said you would get tired of me. Marcus's heart cracked. What? She said you would try for a while, but then you'd get bored, and you'd go back to work and forget about me like you always do. Marcus closed his eyes, Vanessa's poison still working its way through his daughter's mind. Maya, can you open the door, please? A long pause. Then the click of the lock. The door swung open. Maya stood there in her pajamas, her hair tangled, her eyes red from crying. She looked so small, so fragile. Marcus knelt down so he was eye level with her. I need to tell you something, and I need you to listen very carefully. Can you do that? Maya nodded. I made mistakes. Big mistakes. After your mama died, I was so sad that I forgot how to be a daddy. I went to work because work didn't remind me of her. Work didn't make me cry. But being with you reminded me of everything I lost, and I was too weak to face it. Maya's lip trembled. So it was my fault because I remind you of Mama. No, baby, that's not what I'm saying. It was never your fault. It was my fault. I was the grown-up. I was supposed to protect you, and instead I ran away. I let a bad person into our home because I was too broken to see what she really was. I tried to tell you. I tried to be good so you would stay. I know, and I'm so sorry I didn't see it. I'm sorry I didn't listen, but I see it now. I see you now, and I'm never going to look away again. Maya stared at him for a long moment. Then she asked the question that had been burning inside her for months. Do you love me, Daddy? Really love me? Not just because Mama loved me, but because of me. Marcus felt tears spill down his cheeks. He pulled Maya into his arms, holding her as tight as he dared. I love you more than anything in this world. More than my company. More than my money. More than my own life. You are the best thing that ever happened to me, Maya Thompson, and I will spend the rest of my life proving that to you. Maya's arms went around his neck. She held on like she was drowning, and he was the only solid thing in the ocean. I love you too, Daddy. They stayed like that for a long time, father and daughter holding each other in the doorway of a room that had seen too much sadness. But now, finally, there was hope. Monday, 10:00 a.m. The bail hearing was held at the Greenwich Superior Court. Marcus sat in the gallery. Mark beside him, watching as Vanessa was led into the courtroom in an orange jumpsuit. She looked different. Smaller somehow. The designer clothes were gone. The perfect makeup was gone. All that remained was a woman facing the consequences of her actions. Her lawyer, a slick man named Harold Pierce, rose to speak. Your Honor, My client is not a flight risk. She has deep ties to this community. She has cooperated fully with authorities. The charges against her are based on manipulated evidence and the testimony of individuals with personal vendettas. The DA, a sharp woman named Patricia Reyes, stood next. Your Honor, the defendant kidnapped a 6-year-old child. She held that child for ransom. She violated a protective order that was granted specifically because of her history of abuse. She is absolutely a flight risk. She has the means and the motive to disappear. My client has surrendered her passport. She has multiple passports under multiple names. We've confirmed at least 3 aliases she's used in the past decade. The judge, a stern woman in her 60s, held up her hand. That's enough. I've reviewed the evidence. I've seen the video footage. I've read the statements from the other victims. She turned to Vanessa. Mrs. Thompson, or whatever your real name is, you are a danger to children. You are a danger to society. Bail is denied. You will be held in custody until your trial. Vanessa's face contorted with rage. This is a setup. Marcus paid for all of this. He's lying. Remove the defendant. 2 officers took Vanessa by the arms. She struggled against them, screaming, You can't do this to me. I have rights. Marcus, this isn't over. Do you hear me? This isn't over. Her voice faded as she was dragged from the courtroom. Marcus sat very still, watching her go. He felt nothing. No satisfaction. No relief. Just emptiness. Mark leaned over. It's done. She's not getting out. I know. How do you feel? Marcus thought about the question. I don't know. I thought I would feel something. Vindication, justice. But all I feel is tired. That's normal. The adrenaline is wearing off. You've been running on fumes for days. I just want to go home, be with Maya. Then go, I'll handle the rest. Marcus stood up and walked out of the courtroom. Behind him, the wheels of justice continued to turn, but his part was done. Now came the harder work, the work of healing. 2 weeks later, Maya had good days and bad days. The good days she laughed. She drew pictures. She played in the garden with Gloria, watching over her like a hawk. The bad days she wouldn't get out of bed. She screamed at shadows. She called for her mother in her sleep. Dr. Robinson came every day, sometimes twice a day. She worked with Maya on techniques for managing her anxiety. Breathing exercises, grounding techniques, ways to tell the difference between memory and reality. Marcus watched it all, feeling helpless. He had built a company from nothing. He had made deals worth billions of dollars. But he couldn't fix his daughter's broken heart. You can't fix her, Dr. Robinson told him one afternoon. That's not your job. Then what is my job? Your job is to be present, to be consistent, to show her that no matter what happens, you'll be there. The healing has to come from inside her. You can't do it for her. I feel useless. You're not useless. You're essential. She needs to know that someone loves her unconditionally, that someone won't leave. That's the foundation everything else is built on. How long will it take? There's no timeline for healing Mr. Thompson. It takes as long as it takes. Marcus nodded. He had waited years to become a success in business. He could wait as long as necessary for his daughter. 1 month later, the trial date was set for March. Until then, Vanessa remained in custody, her attempts to negotiate a plea deal rejected by the DA. She's facing life in prison, Mark reported. Her lawyer knows it. He's trying everything to get the charges reduced. No deals. Marcus. No deals. She doesn't get to walk away from what she did. She faces every charge. She answers for every crime. Mark studied his face. This isn't about justice for you anymore, is it? This is about revenge. Maybe. Does it matter? It might. To Maya. She's going to have to testify eventually. She's going to have to sit in that courtroom and face the woman who tortured her. Are you sure you want to put her through that? Marcus was silent for a long moment. He hadn't thought about it that way. He had been so focused on punishing Vanessa that he hadn't considered what the process would do to Maya. What's the alternative? Vanessa takes a plea. 25 years, no parole. Maya doesn't have to testify. The whole thing is over. And Vanessa gets to avoid facing what she did. She goes to prison for a quarter century. That's not nothing. Marcus walked to the window, looking out at the garden where Maya was playing with Gloria. She was laughing about something, actually laughing. Let me think about it. That night, he sat on Maya's bed while she finished her warm milk. Baby, can I ask you something? Maya looked up, her eyes curious. What? The woman who hurt you. The one who took you away. There's going to be a trial. The lawyers want to know if you want to tell the judge what happened. Maya's face went pale. Do I have to? No, you don't have to do anything, but I want you to know that if you do want to tell your story, I'll be right there with you, the whole time." Maya was quiet for a long moment. She set down her cup and looked at her hands. "Will she be there, the woman?" "Yes, she'll be there." "Will she be able to hurt me?" "No, never. There will be police and guards and me. She'll never be able to touch you again." Maya considered this. Then she asked a question that surprised him. "If I don't tell my story, will other kids get hurt?" Marcus felt his throat tighten. "What do you mean?" "Dr. Robinson told me that sometimes bad people hurt other kids too, and if nobody tells the truth about them, they keep doing it." That's true. "So if I tell my story, maybe I can help other kids." "Maybe." "Yes." Maya nodded slowly like she was making a decision. "Then I want to tell my story. I don't want other kids to go through what I went through." Marcus pulled her into his arms, overwhelmed by her courage. She was 6 years old. She had been through hell, and she was thinking about other children. "I'm so proud of you, baby. So proud. Will you really stay with me the whole time?" "The whole time, I promise." 3 months later. March 15th. The trial of Vanessa Cole Thompson began on a gray Monday morning. The courtroom was packed. Media, observers. The 3 other victims there to support the prosecution, and at the center of it all, Vanessa sitting at the defense table in a prison jumpsuit, her face a mask of defiance. Marcus sat in the front row, Maya beside him. She was wearing a blue dress, her hair in 2 neat braids that Gloria had done that morning. She looked small and scared, but her chin was up. "Remember," Marcus whispered, "I'm right here. Whatever happens, I'm right here." Maya nodded. Her hand found his and squeezed. The prosecution called witness after witness. Gloria, who testified about what she had seen in the Thompson home. Dr. Wallace, who described Maya's deterioration at school. Denise Carter, who recounted seeing Maya abandoned in the cold. The 3 other victims who told their own stories of manipulation and abuse. And then it was Maya's turn. She walked to the witness stand on trembling legs. The judge, a kind woman who had worked with child witnesses before, spoke gently. "Maya, do you know why you're here today?" "Yes, ma'am. To tell the truth about what happened to me." "That's right. And do you promise to tell the truth?" "Yes, ma'am." "Good girl. Now the lawyer is going to ask you some questions. Take your time. If you need a break, just say so. Okay." "Okay?" Patricia Reyes approached the witness stand slowly, her voice warm but professional. "Maya, can you tell us about the first time Vanessa hurt you?" Maya looked at her father. Marcus nodded his eyes, never leaving hers. Maya took a deep breath, and then she started to talk. She talked about the ice water, about being forced to scrub floors until her hands bled, about standing for hours in the dark, about being told her mother didn't want her, about the hunger, the loneliness, the fear. The courtroom was silent. Even the reporters had stopped writing, too stunned to take notes. When Maya finished, tears were streaming down her face, but her voice was steady. "She made me feel like I was nothing, like I didn't deserve to be loved. But she was wrong. I do deserve to be loved. My daddy loves me, Miss Gloria loves me, my mama loved me, and nothing she says can change that." The defense lawyer tried to cross-examine her, tried to poke holes in her story, but Maya held firm. "I'm telling the truth," she said, her small voice ringing through the courtroom. "I don't care if you believe me. I know what happened, and God knows what happened, and that's enough." The jury deliberated for less than 3 hours. Guilty, on all counts. Vanessa screamed as the verdict was read. She cursed the judge. The jury, Marcus, everyone. Officers had to drag her from the courtroom. Marcus didn't watch. He was holding Maya, who was crying into his shoulder. "Is it over, Daddy? Is it really over?" "It's over, baby. It's finally over." 1 month later. The sentencing hearing was brief. Vanessa received life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge called her crimes systematic, calculated, and utterly devoid of humanity. Marcus didn't attend. He was at home having a tea party with Maya and her stuffed animals. "Mr. Bear wants more sugar in his tea," Maya announced. "Mr. Bear is going to get a tummy ache," Marcus replied. "Mr. Bear doesn't care. He likes sweet things." Marcus added an imaginary spoonful of sugar to the tiny cup. "There? Happy?" Maya smiled. A real smile. The kind of smile he hadn't seen in over a year. "Happy." Gloria appeared in the doorway. "Mr. Thompson, Mark Reynolds is on the phone." "Tell him I'll call him back." "He says it's important." Marcus sighed. Baby, I'll be right back. Don't let Mr. Bear eat all the cookies. I won't. He took the call in the hallway. What is it, Mark? It's done. Life without parole. She's never getting out. Good. How's Maya? Marcus looked back at the room where his daughter was carefully arranging cookies on tiny plates. She's having a tea party. A tea party? With Mr. Bear. He likes sweet things, apparently. Mark laughed. You sound different, Marcus. Different how? Happy. You sound happy. Marcus thought about it. When was the last time he had been happy? Really happy, before Jasmine died, probably. Before the grief swallowed him whole. I think I am happy, for the first time in a long time. Good. You deserve it. Both of you. 6 months later, Maya started second grade at a new school. A fresh start. No one knew her history. No one whispered about the trial or the kidnapping or the stepmother in prison. She was just Maya. A smart, funny, resilient little girl with big brown eyes and a smile that could light up a room. Marcus dropped her off every morning, picked her up every afternoon. He had restructured his company, delegating most of the day-to-day operations to his executive team. He still worked, but not like before. Never like before. Daddy, can we get ice cream after school? It's Tuesday. Ice cream is for Fridays. But I got an A on my spelling test. You did? Maya held up the paper, grinning. See, A+. Marcus pretended to study it carefully. Well, that does seem like an ice cream-worthy achievement. Yes, but just 1 scoop. 2 scoops. Mr. Bear is hungry, too. Mr. Bear isn't real. He's real to me. Marcus laughed. Fine, 2 scoops. But don't tell Miss Gloria. Tell Miss Gloria what? Gloria appeared behind them, arms crossed, one eyebrow raised. Nothing. Maya giggled and ran toward the school gates. Gloria shook her head, smiling. That child has you wrapped around her finger. I know, I don't mind. He watched Maya disappear into the building, her backpack bouncing, her braids flying. She turned at the door and waved. Marcus waved back. She's going to be okay, Gloria said softly. She's already okay. I know, I still see her sometimes, the way she was when I came home that night, on her knees, scrubbing the floor, water dripping from her hair. That was then. This is now. I know, but I can't forget it. You're not supposed to forget it. You're supposed to learn from it. Marcus turned to look at her. What did I learn? Gloria met his eyes steadily. You learned that nothing matters more than being there. Not money, not success, not grief, just showing up every day. That's all any child needs, someone who shows up. Marcus nodded slowly. Thank you, Gloria, for staying, even when I was too broken to see what was happening. I didn't stay for you, Mr. Thompson. I stayed for that little girl. I stayed because Miss Jasmine would have wanted me to. You think Jasmine would be proud of how things turned out? Gloria smiled, her eyes glistening. I think Miss Jasmine is looking down right now, seeing her daughter laugh again, seeing her husband finally be a father, and I think she's smiling. Marcus looked up at the sky, clear blue, not a cloud in sight. I hope so. I really hope so. 1 year later. It was Maya's 7th birthday. The backyard was filled with children from her class, balloons, streamers, and more cake than anyone could possibly eat. Marcus stood at the grill flipping burgers, watching his daughter run through the chaos with her friends. She was laughing so hard she could barely breathe. Daughter. Robinson had officially discharged Maya from therapy 3 months ago. She's done the work, the doctor had said. She's processed the trauma. She's ready to just be a kid again. Just be a kid. Such simple words, but they meant everything. Daddy, Daddy, come see what I got. Maya ran over holding up a charm bracelet. One of her friends had given it to her. It has a heart and a star and a moon. And look, there's space for more charms. It's beautiful, baby. Can we get more charms for special occasions? Absolutely. Every time something good happens, we'll add a charm. Maya's eyes lit up. Like a memory bracelet. Exactly like a memory bracelet. She threw her arms around him. This is the best birthday ever, Daddy. Better than last year. Maya's face grew serious for a moment. Last year, on her 6th birthday, she had been living under Vanessa's cruelty. There had been no party, no presents, no joy. We don't talk about last year, she said firmly. Last year doesn't count. You're right. Last year doesn't count. She hugged him again and ran off to rejoin her friends. Gloria appeared beside Marcus carrying a tray of lemonade. She's happy. She is. You're happy too. Marcus watched Maya lead her friends in some kind of complicated game that involved a lot of running and screaming. I am. I didn't think I could be. After Jasmine, after everything, I didn't think I'd ever feel anything again, but Maya taught me something. What's that? She taught me that love isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up. Even when you're broken, even when you're scared, even when you don't know what you're doing. You just show up, and you keep showing up. And eventually the broken pieces start to fit back together. Gloria wiped her eyes. Miss Jasmine chose well when she chose you. I almost proved her wrong. But you didn't. That's what matters. The party lasted until sunset. One by one, the children were picked up by their parents, leaving behind a yard full of wrapping paper and memories. Maya fell asleep on the couch, exhausted, her new bracelet clutched in her hand. Marcus carried her up to bed, tucked her in, and sat beside her for a long time. Happy birthday, baby, he whispered. Thank you for giving me a second chance. Maya stirred slightly in her sleep. Her lips moved. Love you, Daddy. I love you too, Maya, more than you'll ever know. He kissed her forehead and quietly left the room. In the hallway, he passed the photograph of Jasmine that he had moved from his bedroom to a place of honor near Maya's door. He stopped and looked at it. I did it, Jasmine. I finally became the father she deserves. It took me too long, and I made too many mistakes. But I got there. And I promise you I will spend the rest of my life making sure she knows how loved she is. The photograph smiled back at him. And for just a moment, Marcus could have sworn he felt Jasmine's presence. Warm, approving, at peace. He touched the frame gently. Watch over us, both of us. Then he walked downstairs to help Gloria clean up the party remnants, humming a song that Jasmine used to sing. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. The house was quiet. The battle was over. The healing was done. And somewhere in that big house in Greenwich, a little girl slept peacefully, dreaming of birthday cake and charm bracelets and a father who had finally learned to show up. Maya Thompson's story didn't end with a courtroom victory or a villain behind bars. It ended with something far more powerful. It ended with a father who learned that love isn't measured in money or success or power. It's measured in moments. In tea parties and spelling tests and ice cream on Tuesdays. In bedtime stories and morning pancakes and watching your child wave goodbye at the school gates. It's measured in showing up, every day, no matter what. Marcus Thompson had built an empire worth $400 million. But his greatest achievement was standing right in front of him, 7 years old, with her mother's eyes and her father's determination. Maya Thompson, survivor, fighter, daughter, loved beyond measure. And that love, earned through pain and proven through presence, was worth more than all the money in the world. Because in the end, there is only one thing that truly matters. Being there.